Let's start with the essentials. What I'm going to show you here is very important for you to understand. We'll talk about Google Search Console and Google Analytics. Google Search Console is a tool that is provided by Google for free. Let's go to Google Search Console's page on Google itself, and here's what they say. Google Search Console is a free service offered by Google that helps you monitor, maintain, and troubleshoot your site's presence in Google search results. You don't have to sign up for Search Console to be included in Google search results. But Search Console helps you understand and improve how Google sees your website. Search Console offers tools and reports for the following actions. Confirm that Google can find and crawl your site. This is, of course, very important. Fix indexing problems and request re-indexing of your new or updated content. Now, this is something you probably don't need on a daily or a regular basis. But yes, once in a while, you may have to take care of indexing problems of your website. If you have Search Console and if Google finds any issues with your site, you get an alert, you get an email, and then you can go in there and check how a problem can be fixed. If you don't get an email, you can always go and log into your Search Console dashboard every once in a while and see if everything looks good to you. Next, view Google search data for your site. How often your site appears in Google search? Which search queries show your site? How often searchers click through for those queries and more. As you start working with keywords, landing pages, on-page optimization, off-page optimization, blog posts, and so forth, Search Console will show you which keywords, which landing pages are the ones that are actually bringing you visitors, which ones are turning into leads and prospects, and of course, money end of the day. You'll also be able to see which search phrases and keywords are not bringing you any business. So you can accordingly work on the ones that are helping you and the ones that are not helping you. Google Search Console sends you alerts when Google encounters indexing, spam, or any other issues on your site. This is important. If somehow your site gets a malware, if somehow it gets a virus, Google Search Console will send you an alert. So before the site gets blacklisted by Google, you'll have enough time to reach out to a web developer or a company that removes malwares and so forth and get it taken care of. Google Search Console shows you which sites link to your website. That's important when you start working on backlink building strategies. And it troubleshoots issues for AMP, mobile usability, and other search features. Mobile usability is important. What happens is, when you build a website, it may or may not be mobile friendly. One of the ways to find out is through Google Search Console. Let me show you here. I'm logged into a client's account. Under mobile usability, you'll see these errors. Text too small to read. Clickable elements too close together. Content wider than screen. So this is someone who's our new client. Of course, now we'll be fixing these issues, but this helps you understand how your site ranks. Of course, there's a lot of other things that you see here on the left-hand side that can be done through Search Console, but this is one of the most important ones. Now, if I show you another site, another client, then you see there are no errors. It says 0 error, no issues. So what that means is this site is mobile friendly. It has no mobile indexing issues. It doesn't have the size of the font that needs to be fixed or any such thing. This will not only help you rank your website high, but also increase its conversion rates. It's not just about rankings and traffic. What also matters is the conversion rates of your website. If your site is mobile friendly, if it falls within Google's guidelines, it will also be conversion friendly, which means the higher conversion rate will bring you more business. It'll bring you more leads and so forth. So let's see how we sign up for Google Search Console. It's fairly simple. You go to Google Search Console. The best thing is if you have Google Analytics account already, you use the same email and password to log in. You can also log in using your Google account or create a new Google account if you don't have one. Once you log in, click the Add a Property button on top and enter your website's URL, which means you enter your website's domain, the main homepage of your site. Once you do that, you will need to verify your website's ownership with Google Search Console. The easiest way to do that is through Google Analytics. So if you've logged in through Google Analytics or using the same name and email, same password, same user info, then it's fairly easy. You can integrate the two and Google will verify your site accordingly. If you don't have that, then you can use Google Tag Manager, your hosting provider, which means, let's say if your domain is with GoDaddy, well, then you'll have to take the script from your Google Search Console, log into your GoDaddy account, go under the correct domain, and add an A name record. So this is another way to do it. Or you can get in touch with your web developer, send them the HTML file, and they can add it to your website's root. Whatever it takes for you to do this, make sure you do it before you start with your search engine optimization strategies, before you start looking into keywords and search phrases, or on-page and off-page strategies and so forth. This is important because this will tell you whatever you're working on, if that is bringing you results or not. You don't want to find 6 months from now that everything that you are working on is not bringing your site on page 1 of Google because of these crawling issues or anything like that. You want to make sure your site is Google friendly. You want to make sure it falls under Google's guidelines. And one of the best ways to do that is to sign up for Google Search Console, wait for a couple of days, let all the data come in, and then see if Google has any crawling issues, any indexing issues, any mobile site issues, and so forth. And get in touch with your web developer and fix those. You should also build and submit an XML sitemap with your Google Search Console. See, you can only maintain higher rankings in search engines if you keep modifying content on your website. If you keep adding blog posts, if you keep adding new pages, maybe the new services that you provide as the season changes, as the weather changes, maybe you want to add page related to frozen pipes. Maybe you want to add a page related to rains, hurricanes, and so forth. Every time you add a new page to your website, if you have an XML sitemap with Google Search Console, it will alert Google, which means anytime you add a new page or you make changes to the previous pages, if you update them, then Google gets an alert, which is very important. The main reason you invest time and money creating new content for your site is that you expect to be found on the web. And this is something an XML sitemap will help you achieve. If you have a new website, or if your site has not been really active in search engines by adding new content, new blog posts for past few months or years, it's very important that you add a sitemap to your Google Search Console. Now, I will highly recommend that you ask your web developer to do this. However, I'll also make a video on how to do this and add it under the Tools menu. So if you go to the Tools, you will see a video, a step-by-step video that will show you how you can create and add a sitemap to your Google Search Console. Now, I have been working with businesses for over 10 years. I've probably worked with hundreds of businesses, hundreds of companies, hundreds of websites. I do know most businesses, when they approach me to run their PPC campaigns or SEO or social media and so forth, they already have a website. Most of those websites also have Google Analytics, which is a good thing. But here's what happens. Most business owners do not have access to their Google Analytics. They'll tell me, Sonny, I don't have the login or password. I don't know which email was used. I don't even know who created our analytics account. So if you're one of those businesses that do not have access to your analytics, please get it from your web developer. It's important because Google Analytics will show you which landing pages, which services received most of the traffic. Let's say if you're a cleaning company and you provide carpet cleaning, upholstery cleaning, air duct cleaning, and so forth, your Google Analytics will show you which pages are receiving the highest amount of visitors, which pages are ranking higher, which services are ranking higher. This is important because let's say if you're spending money on SEO or PPC, you can also integrate Google Analytics with Google Ads. So within Google Analytics, then you can see the traffic being generated by Google Ads, by your campaigns in Google Ads. This will tell you which services are bringing you most amount of leads and prospects and generating money for you. So let's say if you are spending $500 a month in SEO, $500 a month in Google Ads, you will be able to see which one is working better for you. You can also track conversions, phone calls, and so forth in Google Analytics. So it's important that you get access to it. Google Analytics also shows you which areas bring you the most visitors. So for example, you're in a bigger area like Chicago, or like I'm here in Atlanta. If I'm marketing in certain suburbs of Atlanta with Google Analytics, I can see if I received more traffic from Alpharetta, Marietta, is it Suwanee, Duluth, or some other place. This again will help me create my future marketing strategies accordingly. Let's say we get a lot of traffic from Alpharetta and we don't get any traffic from Marietta, which is a few miles away from here. Then what I can do is create a page on my website dedicated to the city of Marietta. I can have my writer write a blog post which is focusing on the city of Marietta. The only way you can find this is if you go into your Google Analytics and see which areas are bringing you visitors, which areas are bringing you business, and then which areas you're not getting any business from. Maybe there's a city that is more affluent that has the potential of bringing you larger jobs. Maybe there's a commercial area near your office which has potential of bringing you large commercial business. So what do? When you see in Google Analytics you're not getting any traffic from those areas, you can then accordingly make changes to your website. You can add pages, you can add blog posts, you can create videos, and so forth. So it's important that you know which areas are bringing you business and which areas are not bringing you any business. Google Analytics also tell you the search engines that bring traffic or the most traffic. Is it Google? Is it Yahoo? Is it Bing? It also shows you social media traffic. It'll show you if you're getting traffic from Facebook, if you're getting traffic from Pinterest, and so on. Going back to the previous example, let's say if you're spending $500 a month on SEO and $500 a month on Facebook marketing, your Google Analytics will show you the traffic that's coming in from Facebook and the traffic that's coming in with your SEO efforts. Once you know which one is working better for you, you can accordingly make changes to the other one. If you're getting better results from Facebook, that means maybe you need to put more effort in your SEO strategy. Or it might be vice versa. But once you know which search engines, which social media platforms, is it maybe YouTube, that is bringing you the most traffic, and not just any traffic, relevant traffic, traffic that converts, traffic that generate leads, phone calls, and eventually business. Here's another important thing. Google Analytics also will show you the bounce rate of your website. It also shows you bounce rate of insight pages. Maybe the carpet cleaning page has a higher bounce rate than upholstery cleaning page or rug cleaning page. So when you see that, that means something needs to be fixed on the carpet cleaning page. There's something about that page that your visitors are not liking. And there's something about other pages that the visitors are liking because there is a less bounce rate there. So when you know this, you can make changes to the content, to the pictures, maybe to the video of the landing pages of your website. Reducing bounce rate also increases your search engine rankings, and it also increases your conversion rates. So it's a win-win. If you can work on reducing the bounce rate of your website, you can get more leads, get more business, generate more revenue, and so forth. Now here's the biggest thing. Google Analytics will show you the keywords that are attracting most visitors to your website. End of the day, it boils down to the verbiage on the landing pages and the keywords that you use. So if your on-page strategies, off-page strategies that we will get into, but if those strategies are based on certain search phrases, are based on your main keywords, then Google Analytics will show you which ones are working, which ones are not working. That's important because if you're working with 20 keywords, then you will know out of these 20, it's only 5 that are bringing you business. The other 15 aren't. Well, then you can spend more time focusing in those 15 keywords and get better results with your efforts. Google Analytics will also show you the landing pages, the services that receive the least traffic, something that I just brought up a minute ago. That's also important. It's not just about the most traffic, the best traffic. What about the least traffic? If one of your main services is air duct cleaning, but that page doesn't get any traffic at all, then you need to work on air duct cleaning. Same thing, any other service that you provide. Maybe you are a waterproofing company. So which pages of your website are bringing you the least traffic? You can work on them. If you're a roof repair company, it's the same analogy. You could be a disaster restoration company. Is it the water damage restoration page that brings in least traffic? Or is it the basement water removal page? Or is it the sewage backup page? If you feel it's necessary and important to drive traffic to a page that is receiving less traffic, then you can work on it. You can write blog posts related to that particular service. You can create a new page maybe with better content. You can also get some backlinks and so forth for that particular page, for that particular service. So it's important that you get access to your Google Analytics. Go through your Google Analytics page. There's nothing you're going to break in there. Get used to it, get familiar with it, because there's a lot more that you can do with Google Analytics. Now, I will have a video under the Tools tab for Google Analytics, which will show you some of the important things that you can do by logging in there. And if this is something that your web developer does on a regular basis, then you can just have him send you reports. If you don't have the time to do it yourself, log into your pages, then you can always ask your whichever company you have that is managing your website, you can always ask them for reports, weekly reports, monthly reports. You can tell them, hey, I need a detailed report for these pages, these services, these search phrases, and so forth. And they can generate reports and send them to you. So very important, as long as you know what's working for you through Google Analytics and Google Search Console, you will always be able to get better at search engine optimization. You'll always be able to get more relevant traffic, which will convert better, getting you more visitors, more leads, more calls, and eventually more revenue and profits.